I said last week that whenever there's a change at the church, people leave. That's just always a time when people take an opportunity to kind of slip out the side door. And I want to talk about that again this week. Now, I'm not aware of any mass exodus, so no need to be worried about that. I just want to be proactive. This is not my first pastoral rodeo. I've led through these major changes before, and when we do make these kind of changes, I always trust they're for the good, otherwise we wouldn't be doing them. But I don't like all the results. There are always a few who take that time to go, and I would rather be proactive and just address that a little bit with you this morning. And I want to tell you just one spiritual benefit of long-term membership at one local church. Just one spiritual benefit of long-term membership at one local church. And when I say that, I want to just be really clear that what I want to share is a little piece of wisdom. It's not a law. There's no law that you have to be a member at one whole church your whole life. There's no law there at all. Paul didn't do it. He moved from church to church to bless many churches. So we want to be really careful that we don't make a commandment that the Bible doesn't have. At the same time, I want to just give you a little piece of wisdom that I think makes long-term membership at one local church a real blessing. And it really struck me yesterday. I was at a wedding, and I was officiating the wedding of Aaron On to Whitney Osborne, and it was encouraging. It's always encouraging to did I mess up something? Holstein. You know what? That's so funny because I actually have 3 Whitneys, and I said the wrong last name in the first service, a different wrong last name in the second, and now I just like to say it was Whitney Holstein. But that doesn't matter because she's Whitney On now, and I'll never get that wrong again. So anyway, that's just my life. So, okay, so I was officiating at this wedding, and there's always a lot of excitement when you see a young couple coming together. But at the same time, as I looked out into the congregation that was gathered, a lot of things were gripping my heart. I looked out over here and saw Emmeline Shreve, and I had married her parents about 14 years ago. And Emmeline, of course, was not sitting with her mom because her mom died. Just a few years ago, she was sitting with her new mom, if you will. She was sitting with Rachel, who I married to her husband, Jay, just a few years ago. And then I looked out and saw a sister of mine who I had married just a few years ago, but because of her husband's sin, is now divorced. And she was with her child and is pouring her life out for her child and really raising her well. And then I looked out and saw Anna Corkum, who I had married to her husband a long time ago, but of course Mark has died and gone to be with the Lord. And a few years ago, Jeff married Anna to Jeremy. And it just struck me what a blessing it is to see all of those people praising the Lord and to see them still pressing on with Jesus. And I thought to myself, when you leave a church, you essentially put yourself in a place where you no longer have that kind of history with people. And you no longer get to have that kind of long track record watching the ups and downs of people's lives. And I, for one, was very thankful to have gotten to spend the last almost 20 years kind of walking through those different situations. And I think that as we kind of commit to walk with each other through years together, you really actually get a bank of knowledge that helps you to better bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. And when you head out, you often lose that bank of knowledge to care for one another, to bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Anyway, not a law. I want to be clear, not a law, but a particular blessing that comes from that kind of long-term investment. I actually think it can be better to stay at one imperfect church for a lifetime than to spend that same lifetime looking for the church that suits you just right where you are at one season in your life. I think it's actually better to be if you stay in a church over a lifetime, guess what? It won't fit you during some of the seasons. It won't be optimal during some of those seasons. But the long-term investment of knowing a group of people and loving them over a lifetime is just a tremendous blessing. So that's all. I hope you'll join me as we move forward as one. I'm not planning on going anywhere unless the Lord has plans for me that I'm not aware of. I'm excited to be here and to be with you.